Why do we need an enterprise structure? So let me explain you. See, boss, we want to do it. What we want to do it, we want to do the transaction in the system. That is the end game. You want to run your P2P cycle. The P2P cycle from purchase acquisition to purchase order to GR to invoice. This full cycle you want to do it, right? And when you're doing this full cycle, you want to do the multiple things. The first thing you want to ensure is that it is easy to maintain. Okay, you would be easily able to maintain the cycle. There is this thing which we need to do it again. That either we put it as a configuration or we set it up a master data for that. For which department? Who is the department who is creating it? If you need to write down every time the department number, you have a multiple registered company for which company you are creating this order. Okay, which manufacturing plant you want this. If you want to put them manually, their descriptions, you will be making error, and the creating of a order will take a long time. Think about the manual process. When the manual process was there was a paper template was there, and there you need to enter everything. This is my purchase order number. This is my vendor. Okay, we are creating it. This department is creating. We are creating for this department. This is the address it need to be received. Okay, this is the plant which will be getting it. All the things we need to enter it manually. Think about how long it will take, and then there can be a mistakes also in that process, right? So we need an automated process, not automated, but we need actually a more digitalized process. So in the more digitalized process, we want to make sure that the creation of the transaction should be easy. So we create this repeatedly, which department, which company code, which plant, we need to repeatedly put into the transactions, right? So we create an enterprise structure so that from the enterprise structure, we will be able to select them. That is easy to maintain, to make sure that the things are easy to maintain and the repeated work can be reduced. Second thing is reporting. Once you create it, after it, in a big companies, Fortune 500 companies, there would be different countries, different purchasing departments would be there. So which department has done what thing? Under which company, how many purchasing are pending? Under which company has procured for how much of the dollar value? You also need the reporting. And when you need the reporting, there is a structure and there is a hierarchy for reporting. There is a structure and there is a hierarchy for reporting. Reporting can happen at the company level, your registered company level. It can happen at the country level. Okay. It can happen at your purchasing department level. It can happen at your group of buyer. At buyer or group of buyer level also, you want to generate the reporting, how much things has been created and how much things are pending. It can happen at your vendor level. It can happen at the material level. Multiple different levels, this reporting would be happening, right? So we are interested in the reporting. Reporting also would be two kind of reportings would be there. First is legal reporting. Second is internal reporting. Legal reporting is you need to showcase your balance sheets, right? In the balance sheets, this procurement will play an important role because procurement would be generating your accounts payable. Accounts payable data would be coming from the procurement side. So that balance sheet you would be generating at what level? Which level the balance sheet need to be generated? It is the legal company level. What is a legal company? Legal company is what is registered in particular country. What do we call this registered in particular legal company? In the legal binding is your company code, which we have copied, right? I have copied 1710 and I have created my SGM3 company code, and I have also asked you, bhaiya, ki tum bhi copy kar lo company code. So that is a legal company. On that level, the legal reportings would be required. Then we might be requiring internal reportings. All the internal reportings can happen at a different level. It can happen at the vendor level. Yeah, right. Your purchasing department level. Legal reporting is not required at purchasing department level. At the department level, how much of the budget you have, how much of the buying you are doing, we are not bothered much about. So the legal reportings are also required. So we create enterprise structure to ease of maintenance, to make sure the legal reporting is done, to make sure we are doing the internal reportings. Second, two things. Third thing, it also helps you to maintain the authorizations. Now, what is authorizations? I think authorization concept we have talked very little. So when you would be working into the project and when you would be going into the job and mastery, so we have in the multinational company, you would be having a very big company that it has a business in US, New Zealand, Australia, Saudi Arabia, multiple countries it has business. This particular buyer need to buy in particular country. Within particular country also he belong to particular purchasing department. Within purchasing department also there would be sub departments, right? He is belong to a particular purchasing department. He need to buy that material, right? And when he buy that material, whether this guy should also be able to do the good receipt, the buyer who is buying the material, whether he would also be doing the buyer who is doing the buying, right? That buyer is from a particular country, particular department. He is doing the buying. He is creating a purchase order. Whether he should also be doing the GR, yes or no? The answer is no. So this is a different function. This is a strictly we try to follow this thing to make sure the person who is buying should not be able to do the GR. Okay, because what will happen if you are buying, if you have authorization to create a purchase order, and if you have authorization to also receive the material, then you can do a fraud in a company, right? You can create a purchase order which is not required or which is at the higher price, and without receiving the material, with the having a under the table relationship with vendor, you can just post the GR into the system, and then the finance team will go ahead to start doing the payment to the vendor. So this is a conflict of interest. This is strictly not allowed. Okay, this is controlled through the authorization. So this particular thing can be easily controlled through the transaction code. There's a different transaction code, purchase order MB21N, and we should avoid that this guy should not have a MIGO 101 transaction excess. So that excess at the transaction code level would be differ for them. But within the buying also, if he's buying from the country US, whether he's also should be having authorization to buy at the country India? No, right? So he's a particular from particular purchasing department. He should do the purchasing under his department. Should not be an India guy, not authorized for the buying in New Zealand or buying in other countries and start creating a purchase order for them, right? So that authorizations can be controlled here because we would be creating the org structure. Your company code would be there, purchase org should be there, and these things we will be using it to assign it to the user level, that the particular user would be having access to this particular org structure only. So this helps to ease of maintaining the transactions, maintain your logical hierarchy in the system, your legal reporting, your internal reportings, your authorization. That's why with this part, it would be important to create the enterprise structure in the system, and it's mandatory. Without creating this, you cannot do any transaction. Okay, authorization, reported, ease of transaction, and a company hierarchy structure, because SAP represent your company. So whatever the hierarchy structure is there in your company should be also available in your SAP.